So now let's talk about the gait. There's a lot of people who are stressing out because they need to practice the gait and they don't have a gait at home. But I bet you do. I bet if you've got your horse at your place, or even if your horse is at agistment, I bet there's a gait there somewhere that you can practice with. But you're going to say it's too low, it's too high, it's made of electric, or it's something. The gait isn't actually the gait, meaning that's not the part of the manoeuvre that you're needing to practice. The reason that you need to use the gait is for desensitizing your horse. That's really all you need the gait for. So it doesn't matter if the gait's too low or if it's too high or whatever it is. If it's not going to be even close to the same as what's at the show, no one's gait is the same as the one that's at the competition that you're going to. So use the gait for desensitizing. It doesn't matter what the gait is. Make sure your horse is okay with it. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. But what's more important than the actual physical gait is if you can't move your horse this way, that way, rear end, front end, back, forwards, then you can't do the gait anyway. So what it is you need to be practicing is basic body control. Without basic body control, you kind of don't have any basic body control. Think about it. I bet you've heard that saying before, basic body control, because that is what your whole pattern is basic body control, all put together in different ways. Now the gait's probably one of the most jumbled up of all of the little manoeuvres all put together, which then becomes you opening a gate and going through it and shutting it. Now, that's what you need to be practicing at home, so forget about what type of gait you've got. It's more about basic body control. You need to be able to move your horse's shoulder that way. You need to move his shoulder that way. You need to move his rear end that way and his rear end that way. He needs to be able to back up when you say step by step, and he needs to be able to move forward when you say step by step, meaning you need to practice that if you ask your horse to move forward, he can move 1, 2, half a step. He's going to listen to exactly what you say. It's not just about moving forward, it's about having control over each step that he takes. If you put all of these things together, this is what ends up being the gait manoeuvre. So think about that when you're at home. If you're stressing about not being able to practice your basic body control, because with that you've got everything. Now let me kind of show you and explain what we've got here. We've got moving forward. Each step, he's listening to what I'm saying. Now he's had to, for everyone to open your gate, the horse's head needs to be forward of the bar. My gate swings open if I don't catch it. So I have to be really quick with that one. So he already knows because he's not silly, he's done a gate a few times. Let me put him back where he was. He should actually be listening to me and not anticipating. So I've got hold of the gate, I've opened it. First of all, we need a backup. He then needs to be able to move his shoulder. He then needs to be able to move forward. And this is all one step at a time, listening to everything I'm telling him. He then needs to be able to move his rear end and a little bit of his shoulder, just to get my knee out of the way. He then needs to move his shoulder again, and then he needs to side pass. I use my foot to keep that shut. And we shut the gate. See, we don't all have perfect stuff to practice with. My gate swings itself open. I know it's, aside from that, it's a pretty good gate, but it's nothing like what would be at the show in Australia anyway. Move away from the gate. Usually it could be walk off straight, or it could be I needed him to move his shoulder before we could walk straight away from it. Now let's do that in reverse. Walk up to the gate. Stop, he's forward of the gate. This time he's going to listen to me, back up. He needs to be able to move his shoulder. And I need to duck. He needs to be able to move his rear end. He needs to do all of this in slow motion and listen to every single thing that I'm saying. He needs to side up to the gate. And I need to be really quick with this so that it doesn't shut itself on me. And that's it. So what you see there is not the gate. The gate has a foundation. Basic body control is down here. and put all of that together, and the manoeuvre, which is the gait, is at the top of that. It's basic body control, all put together to be able to open and close a gate. So that's what you need to practice, basic body control. Could I say it any more times? If you've got that, you've pretty much got everything. So that is what you need to be practicing at home. Now, when I'm talking about desensitizing, this is what I mean. Now, if your horse is a beginner at this, you would probably be on the ground. If it was me, I'd be on the ground and I'd start with the gait moving with my horse on the ground. Only because I probably would have started that before I broke the horse in the first place. But if you've already had a horse who's experienced and out there, he's already done and trained, then you need to check that that training was done well and make sure that your horse is okay with this kind of thing. But always start small. Start really small. So you don't want to scare your horse. You just want him to be able to stand here, have a chat with your friend. Even if there's no one here, have a chat with yourself, have a chat with the horse. Sit like you don't care. No stress. Don't stress, because if you do, he will. Just get your horse used to the fact that the gait's moving. Because some horses are quite intimidated by this. They see the gate coming towards them and they kind of try to move away. You don't want that. It means your horse isn't ready. But start small and slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger. And now, my point is, you don't just practice what you need to do at the show. You practice way more than that. You make sure your horse is used to serious stuff, fast. This shouldn't happen while you're in competition, but that's not the point. You want him to, if you overdo it here at the show, it's a walk in the park. Bash it, wiggle it, make it make strange noises. If you've got a ring on, make all kinds of noises that you can. Make it as different as you can so that he basically doesn't care about anything. And once you've got that, you should be ready to work the gait. Just take your time and don't scare your horse. You also need to make sure that your horse is used to it from both sides, because don't forget, if you're left-handed or right-handed, don't get in the habit of just doing it one way. So make sure your horse is okay with the gait from both sides. It doesn't matter. All angles, it doesn't matter. Make sure he's used to it. Even see if you can make it touch him. Because you never know, if this kind of thing, you never know what might happen in your competition. You've got no idea. Things happen, as you know, horses and environment. You never know what might happen. So even if you desensitize him to the gate touching him, you just need to make sure basically that your horse is okay with absolutely everything. And then, like I said, at the show, it's a walk in the park.